Hey everybody, welcome to the Video Marketing Made Easy podcast, where we believe the most powerful way, or video is the most powerful way to monetize your message, stand out in the market, and grow your business. I'm Josh Grandel, and I'm joined today by Dallin, and we're going to talk about how to create a standout video sales letter.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a cool topic today. But basically, what is it? What is a video sales letter? Something I hadn't really heard of until I started working with you, Dallin. Tell me about it and why one makes sense.
Yeah. It's abbreviated often as a VSL. It's definitely a marketing term. So if you're not heavily in the digital marketing world, it may be less familiar with you. But simply speaking, it's a video version of your sales message. And your sales message is the written word, is copy that goes on a sales page on your website for a product or service you may be selling. So it's basically getting the visual and the audio, so sight and sound, packaged into a video, and taking what you put in your sales message, written word, making it as video.
Nice. And how does it fit in with everything? Does it fit in with your sales funnels? Tell me a little about what's the best way to utilize a video sales letter?
Yeah, great question. So the best way to use it is on the page that you're selling your product or service. But the powerful part about a video sales letter is that it covers a lot of ground in that message you share. Because what we'll talk about in a second is our framework for how we create video sales letters for our clients, for ourselves, how to go about scripting it. So that way you can walk away and know exactly what you can do yourself in your business. But you can repurpose it into a paid ad, into mini clips, because what it's doing is it's touching pain points of your customers. It's talking about the results that your product or service promises. It even breaks down what's inside or included in the product or service they are buying into. And it's very much a direct response sales message, meaning you want the viewer to take action as quickly as possible. So by the end or throughout the message, you are literally telling them, buy now, click on that button on this page, and join us in this product or this service that you're going to buy. And it can take different forms too, because if your product is a digital product like an online course or program versus a physical product, something you buy off Amazon or e-commerce store, then there are different approaches you can take to communicating about this product or service. And one thing that I think is incredible to do is, if it's a physical product, is you can literally demonstrate it. You can do that with a digital product too, like your online course, show behind the scenes, show what's inside it. But it's an incredible way to talk about your product or service in a way that gets people more confident that they can be successful with using it and having it as part of their life or their business. And a big problem that I find people make with video sales letters is, one, they either avoid it altogether, they forget about it, they don't add video to their sales pages, and so they miss out on that opportunity to increase conversions and people excited to take part in their product or service. Or two, they don't script their video sales letter. A video sales letter can contain a lot of information. If you don't give yourself guidance as to what you're going to talk about, then you can tend to ramble and not keep your message simple, powerful, and covering all the points that you need to cover. And when you don't, one, use a video sales letter on your sales pages, or two, you don't script it, then you're not going to have customers engage and actually buy your product or service as much as they probably should or can if you do. And a lot of people skip the page. They don't want to read. They much rather engage with the video. You don't make as many sales, and you won't build up that initial connection that only video can create on your website and your sales pages. So really, it goes without saying, especially if you're in the marketing space or you're new to it, a video sales letter is one of the first and essential videos you should be creating for your business, whatever industry you're in, because you want that ability to connect and sell your mission, your ideas, your vision, your products and services in a way that gets them to connect with you as the person behind it.
Awesome. Yeah, so it sounded like it's like kind of like the elevator pitch we here talked about how it's good to have something prepared. It's good to have something in the chute ready to go that talks simply and specifically towards you exactly and what your business is doing, right?
Right. Well, I've got a question. How often are we in elevators anymore?
Right.
I mean, like the last time I was in the elevator to pitch an idea, it's been a while. I know it's the concept. I get it. I'm just teasing. I'm playing with it because it's such a true thing. Like you hit the nail on the head with that. It's definitely a version of the elevator pitch, but done so in a way that it gives you more confidence in the message you're going to say versus elevator pitches often I feel like turn into it being all about you versus about the person that you are talking to because you want to make it about them.
Gotcha. Well, that's a huge distinguishment there. Yeah, that makes total sense, and how it's going to help them because that's really, talking about yourself is going to really help you sell your product, isn't it? Or your service. The resource that we're going to jump into, we're going to reference today, is called Video Supply Scripts. It'll help you plan, outline, and write your successful marketing videos. And there's a good skeleton, there's a good template in there for you to use as a listener. And if we go to videosupply.com/resources, you can actually go there to download this for free. Highly recommend it. And it's actually still what we use to script all of our videos for our clients. So Dallin, let's jump into that.
I think it's pretty valuable. Yeah. Go ahead and if you want to share the screen, or we can just talk about it for those just listening, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty powerful too because we get this framework in place, and it was just a couple days ago I was on this consulting call with a client, and she was interested in building a movement building piece of content. I call it movement building. It's inspiring. It invites people into a story that's about them. It gets them excited, and it's not as salesy. And so when we hop on the call, I literally share this resource, this PDF, and I'm like, okay, here's the framework we're going to reference. And then she kind of put up a small red flag to be like, well, this is a little bit more salesy than I want it to be. And I was like, well, here's what we're going to do. I understand that, and I understand our focus is on the inspiring, relevant to what you want, relevant to what you want to help with your audience. And I was like, this kind of framework is relevant whether you are doing super direct response, focused on the sell, or simply just inviting people to learn more about you and joining your movement, and your brand. And so what we can do, Josh, you can go and share. We'll talk about the framework, and what I did with her is I removed some of the pieces. I think it's about page, let's see, it's about halfway. It's page 17, so about halfway through, I believe.
Yeah, I'll take it right down.
It's got these series of points, but what I did is I removed some of the more sales-driven segments of the sales script, and I literally broke it up in this 2-column script, which we also talk about in this PDF. And on one side, it's what you're saying. On the other side, it's what you're seeing. So what you're hearing and what you're seeing. And I broke it up in this table. So the first segment is hook, which we'll talk about in a second. But I broke it up and we're like, okay, let's write out the hook. Let's write out the people. Let's write out the problem. And then there's another area like social proof or urgency, which are a little bit more marketing and sales related. And we eliminated those. You can maybe do it in a small way with a movement building message, something that's more inspiring, less salesy. But those are very relevant based on style and approach. And so if you're looking to cover all of the bases with selling an idea, selling a product or service, this framework is tried and true, and it will help you however you want to maybe reorganize it as needed. But definitely follow this. Oh, as a side note too, before we jump into it, Josh, I'm talking a lot, so
Yeah,
feel
I
free to
know.
jump in. I just get so excited about this stuff, Um, what some of the parts of this, particularly the P words like people and problem and payoff, are pulling from what we do with our messaging framework called Story Supply. And so if you're unclear on some of these areas for yourself, if you're taking notes as you're listening or watching this, just know that we recommend you go through to clarify your brand message first to then know how to script this video for your business. So,
Awesome.
side note.
Yeah, for sure. So talking about the, we want to make sure that we've got the, in the script, or the video supply scripts document here that we're referencing, really talks about defining your purpose, your platform, and your people, your audience. And so really, this video sales letter scripting process builds on all of that. We talked about those in previous episodes of the podcast, so be sure to check those out too, about defining your purpose, finding your audience or the people, and then identifying the platform. But basically, those act as a springboard, I think, into this process here. And once you have all that, you can really be able to speak specifically to them. And so when we're talking about, platform, Dallin mentioned that this video is typically, and I guess you can correct me if I'm wrong, Dallin, but typically on your homepage. It's typically where the people go that, it's beyond your traffic, right? They become kind of a lead right now. And so they've come to your website, they're looking at you, and here's the point where you get to really, give them everything and show exactly what it is and how they can help you. Is that right, Dallin?
Yeah, exactly. And it's on your homepage of your website if that homepage is a sales page, meaning are you selling a specific product or service? Obviously, you should still have a video on your homepage. It may not be a video sales letter directly. It may more just be a video about your brand story. FYI, your brand story is, you're not going to talk about your company history. You're going to talk about your customer in that brand story. So that's a key part. So in this video set, basically we pull out our brand story framework that we use and we put it into this script. And so you can really use it on your homepage. But yeah, the distribution, the platform is whatever page you're selling your product or service on. So if you have multiple products and services, you're going to have multiple video sales letters, because for each of these videos, Josh is talking about the purpose. You want to begin with the end in mind and know, hey, which product or service am I going to sell with this video? And that's why, as you can see in the framework, one of the last pieces is call to action. You want to have one call to action only in the video. And that call to action is that invite to buy your product or service, or if it's a way to capture leads, which we call a lead supplier in our business, you want to invite them to put in their name and email, download the resource, watch the workshop, whatever it may be, but focusing on simply one purpose. It's all about one purpose in this video. And as a side note too, I begin with the end in mind. Set that purpose in place. Be like, hey, they're going to buy this product by the end of this video, and then write that down in your script, and then work backwards from there. Because the hook, honestly, should be one of the last pieces that you script and write out in your script. But the hook, as you can see, comes first.
Definitely. Yeah. So if we were to go ahead and start the process of writing our video sales letter, of course we define the purpose, platform, the audience, the people, and then as our workflow with our clients, we basically take them through we call it a writer's workshop, and we ask our client, say, all right, so our clients ask their talking about their clients, and we talk to them and say,
clients.
Yeah, the clients. We talk about what is the problem that they face, right? What is the problem that your clients face? we get a whole list of that. What is the plan to address the problem, right? And so we talk about the solution they offer to their clients' problems. We talk about any objections they may have, and you see in this document, if you're watching, all these different pieces, and then we talk about the payoff, right? What is the payoff of being able to solve that problem, right? And that goes just beyond like the actual solution, right? So for us, working with our clients, it's not only do our clients get marketing videos back, but what they get is their time back, right? They don't have to produce this. They don't have to invest all the money for professional equipment. They don't have to think so much about their messaging. We're giving them back time, right? And so payoff goes above and beyond just the simple solution or fix that their clients get. And so we have this writer's workshop where we identify all of these things and we make long lists and whatever. And so what we do is then we take those pieces and we construct a whole host of scripts, but specifically here, the video sales letter, and this is outlined so well in this document, and like Dallin said, the hook may be the last thing you do, right? So you identify all of these things in here that you want to address, and that will really put the meat on the bone and craft a very strong hook, to drive them into this video. And so really, it really helps to identify and do a whole, process beforehand before you actually take the script into the process and putting that meat on the bones. So Dallin, how might that look? What's that?
Oh, I just agreed with you 100%.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Well, and I would say for the listeners out there, one thing I think would be powerful is for you just to simply hear what this framework sounds like. We're referencing it in the PDF, which definitely go and download. But I'm going to walk through real quick each of these areas of the video sales letter so you know exactly what they sound like before you go and script them. So take out a pen and paper, put it in your notes app. But what we start off with the video is the hook. This is all about capturing the viewer's attention and giving them a reason to watch. You have a couple seconds only to do this. Next piece is the people. So you want to identify the viewer and communicate what they want to hear. And then the problem. This is where you connect to the viewer by talking about the problem that's stopping them from getting results. And then the next piece is the payoff. This is where you share the promised result after they take action. Then there's authority. This is positioning your authority and credentials as to why the viewer can trust you. And then perspective. This is where you share the belief viewers need to be ready to buy and how the offer is unique and new to them. And then the plan. This is where you present a simple 3-step plan to achieve success by taking action with you in your business. And then social proof. This is where you share and show proof of results with testimonials and things like that. And then there's objections. This is where you eliminate big objections and the cost of not taking action right now. And then urgency. This is giving a reason to act now. A limited time offer. Only so many people can join or buy this product. It's limited. And then the end is the call to action. You want to tell the viewer exactly what to do next. So Josh referenced, we both reference some of these, but this is the flow of what to cover. And as it's relevant, you can rearrange some of these. And like I said, you can eliminate, say, the social proof or even a hard call to action. If you're looking more for an inspiring video to tell a story versus a straight up video sales message. But this framework can be followed by many. And one thing to add to something awesome that Josh said is about problem. So in the time you spend with clients and in our consulting, we break down what all of the customer problems look like for them. And believe me, it becomes a long list pretty quickly. Josh can attest to this, right? Like we're taking all these notes and it's like 20 items later, we got all these problems from their customers. Like, well, this is like ideas for 20 videos we can cover. So the natural question is, do I need to talk about all of those 20 problems in this video sales letter? And absolutely not. You don't need to. And oftentimes what you'll find is a common theme among all those problems that you can basically summarize. What's helpful too is to interview customers to get a good feel for what is the recurring theme of a problem or pain point, or limiting belief that's keeping them from being successful with a product or service like yours. And then you can, it becomes all these notes, and honestly, plenty of ideas for new videos or new content topics to cover, but simplify it down into 1 to 3 problems to cover. You find if you go to videosupply.com, which is our main sales page on the homepage itself, we break down one primary problem that our audience struggles with. And I imagine you may relate to this. That is struggling to stand out profitably. So because of that, you're unseen, you're unheard, and customers are not buying your products and services. But then there are symptoms of that problem. The reason why you're not standing out is because you have no clear message. You don't have a marketing plan in place, and you have video content that's honestly kind of worthless. It's not actually working to grow your business. And so that's where there's one primary problem, but then we have examples of why that problem exists. And so consider that in scripting your problem section in this video sales letter.
Definitely. And and as you're looking at this too, I mean, and you were talking as you were going through this list here, like talking about a call to action, and do you have that or do you remove it? Really the video sales letter, and this goes along with, like I said, the previous episodes that we've done. But basically, if you've identified your audience, if you've identified the platform that this video is going to live on, which is very important, then you can make the rest of your, whether if it's living on your homepage or if it's on a sales page, like Dallin was saying, wherever this video is going to live, you want to make sure that it's tailored to fit in that space. It's crucial to have that, to be able to, do you need to give all the information in this video, or can you use the rest of your sales page or your homepage to use the call to action or whatever. So identifying the platform for this video is huge before you go ahead and create it. Obviously, you can repurpose and redesign it so that it can live basically anywhere, and you could use it, say as a paid ad on a platform, but be sure to make sure that you can craft it in such a way that it fits within that platform where it's going to be and where your viewers are going to come to, to be a captive audience to watch this video. So there's some thoughts there. So
definitely.
So Dallin,
well,
yeah,
go ahead, Josh.
Oh, I was just go ahead. Sound like you knew you're going from there.
I was just going to jump to the next point of the payoff.
Yeah, sounds good.
The problem in the payoff, and Josh, you can feel free to come back to our faces. For those who want to see more of this PDF, definitely go to videosupply.com/resources to download it. But the real important thing here is to recognize that there are primary, I would say, 2 areas that your customers care about the most in this video sales letter, and that is the problem and the payoff. Obviously, all the other pieces are essential. It's important to show your authority and that that the perspective of what they need to believe. But the more that people can see that you understand their problem, the more that they'll see that you have the solution to that problem. So showing that understanding of their problem, and then the payoff is, at the end of the day, people want to know that you can promise and deliver on something that they actually want. And so when you can talk about what they want, I think of my 4-year-old, like Josh has 2 girls at home. I've got 2 little boys now, but my 4-year-old, I often find that if he doesn't get what he wants, he throws a tantrum. He's 4, and he's at that stage where he's like, I want to watch a movie. And we're like, no, you had too much screen time yesterday. And sometimes he just starts screaming, gets into tears. He has one of those brief tantrums. And, if we think of, I think of him sometimes as a customer, not saying that an audience or customers throw tantrums, but that there's something that they want. And if we don't cater to what they want, it doesn't make them as happy. It sounds simple, but that's as simple as it can be. is understanding what your audience wants, so that way you can deliver on it and talk about that, and paint that vision for the future that they can have when they resolve the problems you're talking about that they actually are experiencing, and then they can follow through with the plan and the products and services that you offer. Then you will win over customers all of the time because you're catering your message to be about them.
Yeah, so basically, talking about this script and how it's supposed to fit in with the rest of your stuff, really when you go ahead and you create this video sales letter and you're able to identify all this stuff, creating a list to create your video sales letter, then you'll have, it can act as basically a springboard to launch into some of your other videos as well. Really, this could be a foundational piece for someone to craft. And once you have this video sales letter in place, really, you can stem everything off of this. And so really it's kind of an anchor, and it can really help to drive those other video pieces. So what other video pieces, Dallin, would you say could be a part of this whole system?
Oh yeah. A series of ads. If you think about it, you can have an Instagram story ad that's 15 seconds plus, depending on the type of ad. And you can have the hook, you can have the problem, and you can have the call to action, all delivered within 15 seconds. And if you find that as you're putting this framework together, because we're covering all these primary pieces, which honestly are going to be also throughout the written word, the sales copy that's on your sales page and website. If you're unclear on one area of this framework, like, ooh, I don't really know what the perspective is. I don't know what the belief that I need to create my customers is about themselves. Then that means, one, you need to do a little bit more clarification on your messaging, and two, you need to get that written down once you clarify that, because when you do, then your sales page will be done right, your video will be done right, and then anytime you go to talk about any form of your audience, they can know that you know what you're talking about. And it's and so understanding each of these pieces, like Josh said, is essential, is going to completely guide all other types of videos. And then one thing I would revisit too is after people download or buy the product that you're presenting on this page where your video sales letter is existing, then there can be a confirmation video that revisits the payoff. You're like, hey, congratulations on downloading, or congratulations on buying. What you're showing now is your commitment to X, which means resolve this problem or experience this payoff. And so those types of messages are going to guide all other types of videos. And then once they jump into your product or service, you can have other videos that help educate them further on these different areas as well. Another thing we recommend, and we're getting a little bit more into other types of videos you can create that are essential to your business, but is doing an FAQ video, so frequently asked questions, and addressing, like the people section, for example. You can say, what types of people is this product or service for? And then that's when you can expand upon the idea of who it's for, or what types of problems does this product or service solve? Then you can expand on the problem section more. And so it really is going to guide all other areas of your messaging, of your offer, of your products or services, marketing, everything, when you get clear on this video sales letter script.
Awesome. Yeah, so very powerful piece here. We wanted to bring that portion to you. It's so different than any other script that you'll create in some ways, but it's the video sales letter. And like I said, feel free to go to videosupply.com/resources, and you can go ahead and pull that resource and use it today for your business, and understand how that structure is going to work for you in your sales funnel process. Dallin, thanks so much for joining us today.
Of course.
And we will turn you guys loose. Be sure to watch out for our podcast next week. We'll be doing this weekly, and hope to have you guys follow along. Thanks, Dallin.
All right, see you in the next one.